I'm Wendy Turnbull, and I hope you are enjoying Frew Park YouTube channel.
Wendy Turnbull, I know you're watching, so I hope you're enjoying it all, because the Wendy Turnbull Green behind me is being built and it's coming along very nicely. And now I'm going to chat to Brian Laver, Rod's cousin, about another Brisbane tennis character, almost as big a character as Brian himself, Kenny Fletcher. Brian, what can you tell us about Kenny?
Well, Kenny made my day the day Barry Wayne destroyed me in the semi-final of under 15 or under 16. And I went over to get my Fanta, which was all the Rockhampton boys were desperate for Fanta. We didn't have it, you know. And I went over and Kenny looked at me. He was with my good friend Arthur Little, who was also a big promoter of Kenny. And he said, "Laver, try another sport." And I looked at him, little kid here, and I thought he's much older, 2 or 3 years, and I thought, is this guy real? Or is he telling me something I need to know? Or is he just his sense of humour? I realised it was his sense of humour.
Yeah, well, he had a great sense of... I remember when Ken was coaching a British girl who was number 50 in the world, Sarah Goma. He was coaching her here in the early 80s on one of the grass courts, and you were coaching on the court next door, a Chinese lass.
Huna was best girl player. She got number 60 in the world. She played doubles with Matt Nicova and Betty Sobe. We took her under a wing because they trained at Laver's as well. I was that time I had Eduardo Onsens as the middle brother of the Onsens family. They run a big club in Brazil, and I think Eduardo's now the Olympic coach for the tennis team for the Olympics in Brazil in 1980.
And what else do you remember about a character like Kenny Fletcher?
Well,
did you watch him play?
We always watched a good match. I mean, I think Ian, my brother, and Kenny fought out a few matches together.
They did. I saw them play.
They were...
I remember Ken was playing him and went into and said, "Now Ian, when you hit the volley, hit it out in front."
Nothing like getting sledged by being coached. Another great attribute. We know that on the cricket field and tennis players, people make some sort of little comment, "Look, you're playing really well today," and of course you weren't. And that, of course, you either lifted your ankle collapsed.
Or they said, just as you're about to say, "Do you breathe in before you serve or when it's up?"
All of that stuff. At least we didn't have too many parents on court for those days. That was good. But no, I mean, I always heard about Ken. One of my best friends from Churchy, Tommy Biggs, was a doctor, and he spent time up in Hong Kong. He was always at some of the lunches up there. I think you were in
those. Do you remember Ken's forehand?
If Jimmy Shepherd says it was the best forehand in the world, I'm trying to stay loyal to Rodney. But then I do. On the stakes, I think Rodney was the best player in the world because he won 2 Grand Slams. But I tell you what, Hoden, Gonzalez and Roosevelt were pretty tough competitors. Hard to know how to gauge them at that level.
That's right, and you can't compare eras either, now, because of the different strings, the different rackets.
But one thing you can be sure of it, in those days, all the pros, the Kramer troop, laid the basis for professional tennis. I'd never seen more hard work going for laying the basis. It made all these players who win this huge amounts of money now. They laid the basis for it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was tough on them when they had to play for nothing.
Absolutely. But they were extraordinary. And I mean, when you look at the players now, except for a few personalities, on the whole, they're the best bargaining tools for the 250 million people who play tennis and no person's safe. Never get out of it. They buy the rackets, the balls, all those sorts of things.
Another amazing thing that's happened now, Jimmy showed me the official rules of tennis now, and they have 4 speeds of balls now. They have fast, medium, slow, and ones for high altitude.
All of that.
Whereas back in your day, in Kenny's day, it was just the same ball.
You were very happy to get a ball, And Dad used to tell me in the Second World War, of course, tennis was abandoned. I saw that in the Churchy yearbook the other day, in 1942, probably because they wanted the rubber. There were no tennis balls. Only the Americans probably threw them in with the ice cream and the grog. There's a funny joke about that. I always think about it when the Americans coming to help Australia and the command ships up the top, and he said, "Are all beachheads secured, sir?" "Yes, sir. All golf courts and tennis centres secured, sir."
Well, that's Brian Laver for you. He always brings in the little political joke. Thank you, Brian.